Just stopped at the gas station, guys. $2.99, but I couldn't make it back without running out of gas possibly. And there's no one home to save me if I do. It was better just to pay a little extra. I don't need to get the lowest gas. In reality, the lowest is probably, what, $2.70 around here? Well, $2.77. And what, it was $2.99. So, what, 22 cents? $77.99, yeah. It wasn't worth it. I only got half a tank anyways. It's also funny. This is UPS is right down there, that way. And all the UPS drivers come to this gas station to get gas right before they go on their routes. And I just saw one of the guys, or one of the drivers that I've talked to, and it's just funny. I haven't seen anyone that I've loaded cars for, but I'm sure one day I will. Wasn't too bad today. I didn't add them up actually. The one car that had the most was 300. One had under 200, which is always great. Those are the best cars. And then I think the other one had about 250. So, about an average day. And the 300 car, it's a bigger car, and the guy actually requested that truck because of how big it is, because he gets a ton of stuff. And he goes down by the docks, he said. I'm not sure where that is. But anyways, and he has a bunch of stuff in the back, like bolts and, well, just heavy stuff. And so he has to back up, and he just unloads from the back, basically, which is smart, very easy. Work smarter, not harder. The poor guy beside me, he had everything today. It's not that he had everything. He had a car that was $250, but it all came at one time, and he looked like me on Tuesday, where it just stuff stacked head height everywhere. Didn't have enough room, and he doesn't have the extra. I think it's about 1.5 feet. I looked at it today just to see. It's about 1.5 feet extra, and he doesn't. So, I mean, he had about this much space to move between everything, and packages were just still coming and flying down. It's like, oh my gosh. And he had some car parts as well. They were so heavy. Man, that poor guy. And, you know, I don't want to be a UPS driver. Simply because, like, I've changed my mind. I thought I gave it the opportunity to see, not necessarily making the decision, like, I'm going to be a driver. But we have said far too often these days, I feel sorry for this driver, because they have so much stuff in their car, and there's also a bunch of big stuff, and at the end you put all that stuff in and you can't walk down the aisle. So, I mean, he said it today too. He was like, I feel sorry for this guy. And then when I was walking out, one of the guys that actually started when I started, I rarely see him because he's on Metro 4 and I'm on Metro 3. Well, you know what he said? Man, I feel sorry for this guy. Because one of his people had a whole bunch of giant boxes, and he said it was just chock full of like 60 boxes that were huge, like 2 feet by 2 feet. He was like, I feel sorry for this guy. So that's why I don't want to be a driver. They make great money, but it's for a good reason. They work hard. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine. I mean, just so many boxes. And at the gas station, I heard that they had like something like 150 stops, as someone the other day had to drive 100 miles. It's like, dude. So yeah, they get paid well because they work extremely hard, and they're out in the elements all day, and during summer, all that heat, winter, just freezing. So yeah, you can definitely see why. The only problem is, if you want to switch out of that career, you don't really have much on that experience. What, you've been driving for 10 years? Hey, on your resume, hey, I've been driving cars for 10 years. So if you want to get out, it's hard. If you want to stay in and just work like crazy, then dude, go for it. You're going to make a ton of money. But if you have a family, in my opinion, I kind of want the option. I'm thinking in the future, I might, well, not might, that's the wrong word. I am going to want to spend time with my family, and I don't want to have to work 60 hours a week. I know they don't all work 60 hours a week, but during peak season, they work a lot of hours. You can only work a max of 60 hours. But even working 50, and you know, it's all through, like, until night. I don't know what time. I don't do this. But I would like to have the option to go home at a reasonable time and spend time with my family. So that's the reason that I will not be becoming a UPS driver. Even though it's great money and I would love to have all that money right now, but no, I'm not going to do it. I need some bread and bananas. I think that's it.
Thank you for shopping Food Lion. See you soon.
Okay, off to day two's interview. Okay, we are here, and it is about 15 minutes until my interview. Now, I've actually never been to a second interview. Most of the interviews that I do are just the one time, and then they hire you or they don't. So I have no idea what to expect today. None whatsoever, which is, well, I guess that's not the best. You know, I might should have looked up what some second interview things are. Too late? Well, I guess I still could do it, but I'm not going to. Well, let's just go into it. Just open-minded, see what's what. I've also never been interviewed by a woman, and I am being interviewed by a woman today. Not that that means anything, it's just weird that I haven't, because most of the jobs that I do are labor, and you know, this is not a labor job. Not that women can't interview for labor jobs or be the interviewer for the labor job, but I just haven't run across that. So that will be another element to traverse. Not really, it's probably gonna be the same. But I just really wonder what kind of questions she's gonna ask. I mean, the person yesterday asked all the normal questions that you would ask in an interview. So I'll let y'all know afterwards if I even remember. I might be so nervous that I forget all the questions. Sometimes you just run on autopilot, and that might be the case today. And I have to find where I'm going. I know it's right across, but you know, you never know where it is. So, woo! I'm gonna chill here for just a minute. Hopefully, well, I'll probably psych myself out, get really nervous, and then I'll head in. I'm back. All right, that took about 30 minutes. I was there a little earlier, so I did wait just a little bit. But dude, the facility there was so nice. I mean, it was like a modern, I don't know what, like, just a modern work. I don't want to say workplace, because it's not an office. It's a communal area where a bunch of people come together and they just work on separate things, not necessarily just one team. I wish I could have shown you, but they had their logos and all up there. I just didn't want to, just in case I didn't get the job or anything. Absolutely beautiful place. They had some nice music going. It was a great place. And the lady that interviewed me, absolutely super nice. She's from Scotland too. That was so cool. She had an accent. I was like, whoa. Oh man, that was awesome. But the questions weren't any different than they were yesterday. It's like slightly different, but they were not made up by her. She had to fill out a company thing. So it was just generic questions. And she even mentioned it. She was like, I'm sorry, these are so generic. But I answered them just like I did yesterday with, almost, it was like yesterday was a bit of practice of what the other interviewer liked to hear. And I kind of used that in this interview, and she was like, oh yeah, absolutely. Because, they're looking for the same thing. So that was great. And it only took 30 minutes, but dude, I could have stayed there all day. That was such a nice place. So relaxing. And the building itself is nice. I mean, you saw those fancy lights coming out. I mean, whoa. Not much else to report. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I'm gonna be able to snag this job. Just because I've answered all the questions very well. I mean, there's no reason that I think that they would deny me. But yeah. So, there we go. That's it. I'll see you guys at home. And there you go. I got the job. Yeah, let's go. Now I'm just gonna watch some Star Wars Rebels. It's a little bit later now. Getting dark outside. That was nice sitting on the roof. I know that's not a common thing, but that's always something that I wanted to do when I was younger, is have a roof that I could go on. And my roof was just a little too steep for that, and it wasn't as big. And so now that I'm older, I can do that. And it's nice big roof. But anyways, I was reading some of the comments from the video from yesterday, but it came out today, about my job. I'm still keeping my UPS job. I'm gonna do that and this new job. Just wanted to clarify that. That means I will be getting up I usually get up at 3 and then head out whenever I get ready. And usually I'm there early enough, but I want to start getting there at 4. And I would have to leave at 7:45 to get over to the new place at 8:20 and then work until 5. I get an hour lunch, but if I want to make it an 8-hour day, I need to take a 40-minute lunch. So that's the plan right now. Should be fun. We're on the grind, guys. Got to make that money. So now it's time to eat. Well, I had a peanut butter and banana sandwich, some milk, and the last of the barbecue chips. Not sure if I'm going to get more. But as you can probably guess, I was watching Star Wars Rebels. I am on season 4, and I believe each season has about 20 episodes. So I've watched 60 here in a week or so. I've been grinding it because it's so good. But anyways, there was one more thing with the job. I start April 7th, which is a Monday. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.